favorite authors. Some of the stories we've written ourselves. All of them have given us a very proud and special feeling. We now feel that we are beginning to decipher and comprehend all those squiggly little black marks on paper. We've begun to make pictures in our minds as the pages come alive with meaning. It's an exciting discovery, a joy we hope to retain all through our lives, the love of books, the love of reading. Our first selection is Just For You by Mercer Mayer. He is one of our favorite authors. He also wrote All By Myself and Just Me and My Dad. This story is not only easy for children to read, but it conveys every child's wish to help the adults in his or her world to do something very special. Just For You by Mercer Mayer.
I wanted to set the table just for you, but the TV was too loud. I wanted to squash it down just for you, but there was a storm. I wanted to do something very special just for you. And I did it.
A child's imagination are the most wonderful stories of all. If we can encourage the child to dictate his or her thoughts and write them down, the stories are much more interesting to the child and a lot more loved. Julie Stortz has used her own ideas and words to create her own story, A Puppy's Adventure.
The Puppy's Adventure by Julie Stortz. A puppy went walking away from home. Soon he came to a forest. He heard an owl hoot. Hoot, hoot. He felt scared. Then he watched a waterfall. He went swimming. Then he chased a few wildcats. Suddenly, a bear came out of his cave. He was huge. He almost scratched him. The puppy did not stop running until he got home. He did.
Is certainly a favorite in our class. The children learn to read this book on the very first day of school. Kevin Otten used the format of this book to create his own version of the story. Kevin, What Do You See? By Kevin Otten.
Do you see? I see a yellow bird looking at me. Yellow bird, what do you see? I see a pink lion looking at me. Pink lion, what do you see? I see Miss Humphrey looking at me. Miss Humphrey, what do you see? I see an orange duck looking at me. Orange duck, what do you see? I see a red and blue horse looking at me. Red and blue horse, what do you see? I see mom and dad and Teddy.
Poetry is such a beautiful way to tell a story. A poem can be pretty, interesting, sad, or funny. A poem tells us our story using rhyming words, and the lilting sentences make the story sound like music. The Little Turtle is an old favorite of many years. Children never seem to tire of the simple and cute story that it tells. The Little Turtle. Each sentence might start the same or end the same, and the children take a clue from the different pictures on each page. Paul Stair wrote his own story. He used a predictable sentence structure. Each page begins the same, I like, and in this way, Paul can read his very own story. I Like by Paul Stair.
kids. They are good to me. I like my brother Jason. He lets me play with his friends. I like to play games with my mom and I like school. We do fun things like catching ticks. I like to play games. I like pizza. We have it on my birthday.
Language is the backbone of reading. Children who eagerly develop their language skills will have much greater comprehension than reading the written word. Language in children is developed in many ways. By reading to them, answering their many questions, and using larger words in our own daily speech, we can tell children that new words, new language, are not only great fun to learn, but will help them in communicating with the world around them. So where do children learn new words and new concepts? Children at this age are just like little sponges. They soak up all of the things we share with them. Good communication, listening, and introducing new words to your child all help to increase the vocabulary. Good books often introduce new words and their meaning in a fun way. I received a book a few years ago from a student called Quick as a Cricket. It uses animals to explain the meanings of such words as gentle, weak, tame, and lazy. Since introducing this book to the children, I hear them consistently use these words in their daily speech. They use them appropriately, and they have such a feeling of confidence when they can look at another child and say, "Let's handle the little chick gently. It is very fragile and delicate." Quick as a Cricket by Audrey and Don Wood.
I am quick as a cricket and slow as a snail. I'm as small as an ant. I'm as large as a whale. I am sad as a bastard. I am happy as a lark. I'm as nice as a bunny. I'm as mean as a shark. I'm cold as a toad. I'm hot as a fox. As a kitten. I'm as strong as a fox. I'm brave as a tiger. I'm shy as a shrimp. As tame as a poodle and as wild as a chimp.
Lazy as a lizard, as busy as a bee. And told it in his own way. Clark illustrated his pages, and these illustrations helped him to take a clue to the words written on every page. The Very Hungry Caterpillar, an adaptation by Lars Grimsrud.
I love the very hungry caterpillar. On Sunday, he ate through one apple. On Sunday, he ate through one. On Monday, he ate through two. Strawberries. On Tuesday, he ate through 3 oranges. On Wednesday, he ate through 4 pineapples. On Thursday, he ate through 5 bananas. On Friday, he ate through 6 pickles. And on Sunday, he was sick and had a headache. And so on Saturday, he ate through a big, nice green leaf. Then he felt much better. The end.
The next poem, The Drinking Fountain, tells us about a problem that all children have sometimes in their young lives.
When I climb up to get a drink, it doesn't work the way you think. I turn it up to make it big. The water goes and hits me right upon the nose. I turn it down to make it small and don't get any drink at all.
I'd like to introduce a few people at this time. I'd like to start with Mr. Charles. I have a lot to say about him. And a lot of you know Mr. Charles. He's going to pursue some personal goals. And will be leaving us at the end of this year, which is wonderful for him and wonderful for Jochen because he leaves a lot of his skills with us. A lot of things that you see around Jochen are a direct result of what Mr. Charles has taught us. And I just will learn to see it. A little bunny says goodnight to all the special, loved things in his room. He finds security in its nightly memory of another day. Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown.
In the night gray green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of a cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting in chairs and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens. And a little toy house and a young mouse and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady whispering hush. Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, night in the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens and the night mittens. Good night, clocks and the night socks.
Good night, little house, and good night, mouse. Good night, comb, and good night, brush.
Good night, Noah. Good night, Lush. And good night, sweet old whisper. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, places everywhere.
We'll get an idea for a story from another child, and then they'll develop that idea differently. Our next 2 authors have both written stories about bears. Amy and Anna by Kelly Lombardi.
a girl bear. The two bears got married. The two bears loved each other, and they lived to each other.
A favorite poem this year we did for Mr. P and his pointy hatches, the Puffin poem. We hope that you will enjoy it as much as we have all year. There once was a puffin by Florence Page Jacques.
Oh, there once was a puffin, just the shape as a muffin. He lived on the islands in the bright blue sea. And he ate little fishes that were most delicious. And he had them for supper, and he had them for tea. But this poor little puffin, he couldn't play nothing, for he hadn't anybody to play with at all. So he sat on his island, and he cried for a while. Felt very lonely, felt very small.
And then along came the fishes and said, if you wish it, you could have us the playmates instead of the tea. So we now play together in all sorts of weather. And the puffin makes pancakes like you and like me.
After getting their original thoughts down on paper, an editing process can be used to correct spelling, punctuation, and grammar. Stacy Lewis wrote her own story about school using phonetic spelling. Her ideas and words are creative, imaginative, and most importantly, her own. I Love School by Stacy Lewis.
I love school. I love school. I used to be studying there every day. One day, Humphrey got eggs for our class. She keeps them in a machine called an incubator, and it keeps the eggs warm. One day, an egg hatched. It was so cute. Hi, little chick. How are you doing? Cheep, cheep. Little chick, I hope you're warm. I wish I had my own chick. Goodbye, little chick.
We have spent quite a bit of time this year talking about blooming. We've watched a rosebud slowly bloom, we've watched the apricot blossoms bloom, and yes, even our little children bloom. But things bloom only when they are ready. Personally, I would have to say that the next story is a special favorite of mine. Leo the Late Bloomer exemplifies my feelings about all children and their development. Children are little seeds. We nurture them, we give them strong roots and plenty of love. As they grow, we wait patiently for the blossoms to appear. But children, you see, have their own internal timetables. We must be patient as we wait for each one to bloom, as they will only do it when they are ready, in their own good time. Leo the Late Bloomer by Robert Brown.
Leo couldn't do anything right. He couldn't read, he couldn't write, he couldn't draw, he was a sloppy eater and never said a word.
What's the matter with Leo? Asked Leo's father.
Nothing, said Leo's mother. Leo is just a late bloomer.
Better late than ever, thought Leo's father.
Every day, Leo's father watched him for signs of blooming, and every night, Leo's father watched him for signs of blooming.
Are you sure Leo is a bloomer?
Patience. A watched bloomer doesn't bloom.
So Leo's father watched television. instead of Leo. The snows came. Leo's father wasn't watching, but Leo still wasn't gloomy. The trees budded. Leo's father wasn't watching, but Leo still wasn't gloomy.
Then, one day, in his own good time, Leo bloomed. He could read, he could write, he could draw. He also spoke. It wasn't just a word, it was a whole sentence. And that sentence was, I made it.
We often end our school day with Good Night, Little People by Thomas Hood.
Evening is coming, the sun sinks to rest. The rooks are all flying, straight flying together. Call, says the rook, as he flies ahead. It's time, little people, we're going to bed.
And grandma says, the flowers are pleasant. Honestly, the flowers is open.
Fourth and ninth, as I come on the way, it's time. Good night, little people. Good night and good night. Sweet dreams to your eyelids till dawning of light. The evening has come. There's no more to be said. It's time, little people. We're going to bed.
Ask any child of 3 or 4 what they wish to learn, what they need. Nearly always the answer is the same. I want to learn to read. Love of books comes at an early age. Children discover new books each day. A baby loves the pictures on every page. It's the beginning of a brand new way. Your lazy magic becomes a little bit stronger. Story time is special upon your knee. Can't we read the book just a little bit longer? Becomes the nightly plea. So how can we nurture this new love of books, and how can we make it grow? By taking the time to listen and look, and turning off that TV show. Take time every day to read to your child, even after he knows how to read it himself. The library is a magical place, but I can't get there by myself. The light on the face makes the time all worthwhile, as the realization slowly occurs. Oh, the sounds go together, they say with a smile. Oh, those letter people make words. One of the greatest gifts we can offer our children, one that will aid them throughout many years, is the great gift of books, of reading to them often, how little children love to read. We have one more story to tell all of you tonight. It's a story that's set to music. It's a funny little story, but we love to sing the song. This story is simply about 7 little rabbits walking down the road. They're on their way to see their old friend Toad. But one by one, the little rabbits get so, and one by one they fall to sleep. This story is very long, and so as we start our song, 3 of those little rabbits have already been tucked into bed. 4 little rabbits are left. And just as the remaining 4 start walking down the road,
One little rabbit said he was tired, walking around.
went down the hole, built by the mole, down in the ground until they found her again. Then the fourth little rabbit went to sleep. Don't sleep, stuck in bed, and now instead there are three little rabbits walking down the road, walking down the road. Three little rabbits walking down the road to call on old friend Toad. One little rabbit said she was tired, walking down the road, walking down the road. One little rabbit said she was tired, walking down the road to call on old friend Toad. Would you like a chocolate chip cookie before going to bed? So three little rabbits turned around until they found down in the ground. Three little rabbits went down a hole, built by a mole, down in the ground until they found her again. Then the third little rabbit went to sleep. Don't say peep, she's tucked in bed, and how is it there? Two little rabbits walking down the road, walking down the road. Two little rabbits walking down the road to call on old friend Toad. One little rabbit said he was tired, walking down the road, walking down the road. One little rabbit said he was tired, walking down the road to call on old friend Toad. Is there any room for me? Two little rabbits turned around until they found down in the ground a hole built by a mole. Two little rabbits went down a hole built by a mole, down in the ground until they found her again. Then the second little rabbit went to sleep. Don't say peep, he's tucked in bed, and now he's there. One little rabbit walking down the road, walking down the road. One little rabbit walking down the road to call on old friend Toad. One little rabbit said he was tired, walking down the road, walking down the road. One little rabbit said he was tired, walking down the road to call on old friend Toad. I remember where I left my mother. So one little rabbit turned around until they found down in the ground a hole built by a mole. Then the last little rabbit went to sleep. Don't say peep, he's tucked in bed, and now instead of walking down the road, walking down the road, the last little rabbit dreamed a dream, and in that dream, all in a blur, everywhere. Walking down the road, walking down the road, walking down the road to call on old friend
program is pretty difficult. And you have a teacher that does an outstanding job with a program like this, which is one of the extras that a lot of teachers don't do. But Susie does it every day, all day, and I hope you guys all appreciate her. So I would like to see
First, we'd like to thank Mrs. Craker for picking up this way. She helps the children every day and helps Miss Humphrey. And we'd like to give her a little something to appreciate what she does. little shirt. I don't know how many of you count 12 years from now, but you're looking at the class of 2000. There's paint to go along with this shirt, and all the kids will autograph it this coming week. We have another little surprise for Susie. It's in this little bag. All things come in small packages sometimes. We took up a collection, and we wanted to get Susie something that she could keep. Something that she could get, that in the year 2000, she could look at this thing that she's going to buy and remember these children. Because all of her warm fuzzies and even the cold pricklies mean something to these kids. So we got her a $100 bill to buy something to keep, so that in the year 2000 she can look at it. We love you, Susie.
Every year, I always have to say goodbye to a lot of families that I've had all of their children, and that's really difficult. When you've had 3, 2, even they're only 1, and you know that you may not have as much communication with those children again, and with the families. But the good part is you always meet a lot of families that are extremely prolific, and you can just see all those little ones going. Now, some people say that there's a lot of children in our class, but you can look at the other side and say, job security, right? No one is going to take my job. I'd like to thank you all so much. I just thoroughly love and enjoy my job, and as I was sharing with my parents today, teaching is not the kind of work that you can do for a job. You have to be in love with it, and I truly am. And with all of your children, and with all of you, I think it's time for crunchy cookies. Thank you.